Hi, welcome back. In this video, we will focus on write and balance the ion-electron method, which is the redox equation. Before we start, maybe you need to know what is the redox stand for. Redox basically is the combination of oxidation and reduction. So for your information, both oxidation and reduction will happen at the same time, simultaneously. So there are a few terms that we can know whether the reaction is considered as oxidation or reduction. First, it will be in terms of gain or lose oxygen. So oxidation in bahasa is penoksidan, so it's gain oxygen, while reduction will lose oxygen. So reduction in bahasa is called penurunan. So next, we can explain in terms of hydrogen. Oxidation lose hydrogen, while reduction gain hydrogen. So these two definitions quite often we use during your secondary school. So now we have another one is look at the changes of the oxidation number. So oxidation at where the substance will increase the oxidation number, while for the reduction, there will decrease in oxidation number. Next one will be the electron transfer. Oxidation tend to lose electron, while reduction tend to gain electron. So for this one, normally we can use the oil rate to remember. O is stand for the oxidation, while the L is stand for loss. While R here, definitely I think you have idea which refer to reduction, while the G here is refer to gain. When we want to balance a redox equation, we need to consider the medium. There are two medium in this case. First one is acidic medium, where you can see the symbol of H+. The other one is the basic medium, at where you will see the hydroxide ion in the equation. So for your information, for the acidic medium, we have 7 steps. Okay. While in basic medium, there will consist of 10 steps. However, no worry about it because the first 7 steps are similar with the one in acidic medium. So means that actually we just add on another 3 steps. So in other words, to say all together, you have to remember the 10 steps. Okay, we are learning how to balance this equation in acidic medium. So we only will focus on these first 5 steps. So first, separate into two half equation. So Cr2O7 2- will partner with Cr3+, while Fe2+ will partner with the Fe3+. Okay, balance the atoms of element. Maybe you can try to remember, except hydrogen and oxygen. And then third, we are going to balance oxygen by adding H2O. Only. We cannot balance oxygen by adding O2. This one is definitely no. So similar case happen to the hydrogen as well. We only can balance H by adding H+ and no H2. The last one, we're going to balance the charge using the electron. Okay, so next slide, we will continue with this step. Okay, now let's start with step 1. So this is what we already discussed in previous slide. Separate into two half equation, we will get Fe2+ to Fe3+, and Cr2O7 2- to Cr3+. Okay, then now we continue with step 2. Balance the atoms of element other than oxygen and hydrogen. So look at the first half equation, Fe2 plus to Fe3 plus. So we only focus on the number of atom. Okay, so Fe1 here also have one Fe. So means that the Fe, in terms of Fe, they are balanced. Okay, so we no need to do anything for this half equation. Then now we focus on second half equation. Cr2O72 minus. So we want to balance atoms of element other than oxygen and hydrogen. So when we focus at here, we can see that there are chromium and oxygen. So our focus will be chromium in this case and at this moment. So here we have 2 Cr. So Cr2 plus here, we need to add the number 2 so that left hand side and right hand side will be balanced. Okay, next we will go to step 3 at where we are going to balance the oxygen. Because of the first half equation, Fe2 plus and to form Fe3 plus has no oxygen, so we will rewrite the half equation. However, for the second half equation, Cr2O72 minus, we notice that there are oxygen. So when we look at here, there are 7 oxygen, and when we want to balance oxygen, we need to add H2O. So if each H2O only consists of 1 oxygen. Here has 7 oxygen, that's why here we need 7 H2O. Okay, then next we will going to step number 4, which is balance the hydrogen by adding H plus. Again, Fe2 plus to Fe3 plus no need to balance because there is no H in the equation. But the Cr2O72 minus consists of hydrogen. So after we balance the oxygen by adding the H2O, so we notice that there is H2. So here we will have 7 water molecule, and each molecule of water consists of 2 hydrogen. So 7 times 2 will equal to 14. So that's why here we have 14H plus. Step number 5. Now we're going to balance the charge by using the electrons. Okay, Fe2 plus means that the oxidation number is positive 2. Fe3 plus means that the oxidation number is positive 3. When we want to balance the charge, means that both left hand side and right hand side have to have similar charge. So in this case, we notice that left hand side positive 2, right hand side positive 3, which is not balanced. So when we want to balance the charge, we will by adding electron if add more positive side. So from this case, we know that I will put the electron at the right hand side because positive 3 is more positive than positive 2. Then I will keep it here. X will equal to positive 2 minus 3. Doing the mathematics, x equal to negative 1. That is mean 1 electron will added at the more positive side. In this case is at the right hand side. So then next we continue to second half equation. So in this case, 2 negative, so we will put negative 2 like doing the mathematics, and then we have 14H plus. Each H plus, the charge is positive 1. So equal, we have 2 chromium, so 2 multiplied with positive 3 plus 7. Water, there is no charge here, so means that equal to 0. So before we want to know whether the electron will either at the left hand side or right hand side, we have to do some calculation first. So end up at the left hand side here is positive 12, while here is positive 6. So means we are going to add electron at the left hand side. So another one, you can check your working step whether correct or no. Basically, since like we say this is the redox equation, so one half equation will gain electron and then another half equation will lose electron. So if you notice that end up your electron, one is at the left hand side and another one is at the right hand side, basically there should be no much problem. Okay, so then now we need to know plus x. So x will equal to positive 6 minus 12, which equal to negative 6. So again here you notice that this is 6 more of electron. So we already finished for step 1 until step 5. Okay, let's balance this half equation. Since this is only one half equation, so we can skip step 1. Okay, what I want to remind you here is when you answering the question, basically you no need to write down every step, means that repeat the equation. Okay, I will show you how I'm going to answer this question. So for sure, first I have to write down the equation first. NO, and then I will left some space here because later I might add on the H2O or H plus and then produce N2O. Okay, so we start with step 2. Balance the atoms of element except hydrogen and oxygen. So focus on here means that we are look at the nitrogen. Here at the left hand side we have 1 nitrogen, while at the right hand side here we have 2 nitrogen. So both left and right is not balanced, so I will add 2 in front of the NO so that both left and right hand side have 2 nitrogen. Next, I will continue with step 3. Balance oxygen by adding H2O. So when we look at here, left hand side have 2 oxygen. Okay, 2 oxygen. How to get 2 oxygen? Because of there is 2 NO, so each NO have 1 oxygen, so end up we have 2 oxygen. While at the right hand side here we only have 1 oxygen. So both left and right hand side are not balanced, so we're going to add H2O. So definitely for this time we are going to add at right hand side. So at this moment now, here have 1 oxygen from N2O and 1 oxygen from H2O. So both left and right have 2 oxygen at this moment. Okay, then now we proceed to step number 4, which we're going to balance the hydrogen. So when we look at this formula here, there is no hydrogen. But at the right hand side here, we have 2 hydrogen because each H2O contain of 2 hydrogen atom. Okay, then now we are going to add the H plus. This is the statement here and we cannot change as we like. Okay, we have to follow the steps given. So means here we are going to put plus 2H plus, and then now here left and right also consists of 2 hydrogen. So last one, we're going to balance the charge by adding electron. So if you still remember just now we say by adding electron at more positive side. So no worry, we try to do the calculation. So 2 NO and each NO there is neutral, so the charge is 0. And then we have 2 H plus, each H plus, the charge is positive 1, equal N2O, no charge, H2O also no charge. So 2 times 0 plus 2 times positive 1, so positive 2 equal to 0. So from here, very obvious, positive 2 and 0, positive 2 is more positive. Means that we are going to add the electron at the left hand side. Then we need to identify what is the x. So x equal to -2. So means that maybe you have to erase this arrow and then plus 2 electron. Then only you can have this arrow. Okay, so we already done for the first this half equation from step 1 until step 5. This is what I mentioned here. Basically, you no need to repeat the equation. You just need to write one half equation, but you have to follow these 5 steps. Okay, I will end the video here. So in this video again, we focus on the 5 step in balancing the redox equation. So this 5 step is very important no matter it is in the acidic or basic medium. If an overall equation given, so you have to separate them to two half equation. And then step 2, balance the atom except hydrogen and oxygen. And then balance oxygen by adding H2O, balance hydrogen by adding H+, and then balance the charge by adding electron at more positive side. So in the lecture later, we will continue with step 6 until 10, which we will more focus on how to balance the equation at the acidic and also the basic medium. Thank you for your time.